welcome back. You're listening to Hysteria, the podcast for people who think Trump posting AI Taylor Swift's endorsement of him is probably not going to end well for him. I'm just going to go ahead and guess if anything was going to convince Taylor to finally step out and be like, all right, you know what? Fuck that guy. It was going to be that.
Get my name out of your mouth.
Indeed. All right. Now let's get to Sani Petty. Julissa, I'm going to start with you. Are you going to give us a sanity corner or I feel petty this week?
Do I have an I feel petty for you all? Okay, so everywhere I go, and I'm not kidding when I say everywhere, like the grocery store, the park, like little gymnastics class, the library, everywhere I go, well-meaning white ladies ask me if I am my daughter's nanny. Oh, yeah. And I think, maybe they see how loving I am with her and they're like, we want to hire her, and they're just like genuinely curious. Like, first of all, it would be way too expensive. You wouldn't be able to afford me. But it's really fucking annoying, and then I share this on Instagram. And I think the thing that became even more annoying was like the comments where people were sort of kept asking, well, somebody said like, oh, you must have married a white guy. And so your baby's probably white and like you don't look like her. And that's why people are asking you if you're the nanny. I'm like, first of all, my husband is a brown Mexican, as am I, and her baby's a brown baby. Like she looks like me, she looks a lot more like my husband, but that's something else. But she's a brown baby and I'm a brown woman. So I don't know why people I do know why people make this assumption, right? I think that people make this assumption because in Los Angeles, there are a lot of Latinas who raise the kids of white families. But I just need white ladies to check themselves, to not just assume that a brown woman is automatically the nanny, because guess what? We're also mothers who take our kids to the library, who take our kids to the park, who would take our kids to gymnastics class and music class. And we're not always a nanny. And it really like bothers me. And I don't know if I should just start wearing a t-shirt that says, I am not the nanny. Like, I think I'm going to order that t-shirt today.
Julissa, I'm going to tell you something that might make you just feel a millimeter better. I have been asked by other white women in my condo building in Tribeca, who I work for in the building. I'm just telling you. And it's not, and it's like I've actually lived there a long time, and I thought it would have stopped by now, but it happened like last year, actually.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, it's not acceptable to just assume that somebody is like a kid's nanny. I always just ask if that's their child first, and if they're it's like much less of a faux pas if they're like, no, I'm like her babysitter or I'm her nanny or whatever.
Just don't ask.
Yeah. Or don't ask. Or you could just say your daughter's beautiful or whatever. And then if they can correct you if they want to. I had a friend in Chicago who was like really, really hungover and he looked really rough. And he was sitting on the sidewalk waiting for me to meet him because we were going to go to brunch. And he was sitting there with a cup of coffee and someone walked by and put money in it. So mistaken identity, bad assumptions, it happens. I am going to go next. So J.K. Rowling has somehow managed to do something that J.K. Rowling has never done before, and that is shut the fuck up. J.K. Rowling has not tweeted for the last 12 or 13 days as of recording time. And there's some speculation about what it could be about. As everybody knows, Rowling has a sort of pathological obsession with people's genitalia and trans women taking space somehow away from cisgendered women. And she is just really psycho, like crazy enough to kind of ruin the Harry Potter books. I was like excited to read them to my kid until she like went off the deep end. And now I'm like, oh, I guess it's The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe for us. But she's taken 12 days off. And what some of the speculation is that the Algerian boxer Imane Khalif filed a complaint in France that named Rowling in cyberbullying, harassment, etc. Now, that could be a criminal charge, a criminal investigation. So it is highly possible that J.K. Rowling's lawyers were like, hey,
shut up.
Shut up. You have to stop. But, that's my, I guess, sanity corner. And I feel petty because I try not to get too invested in what a terrible person J.K. Rowling is, online especially. But it does make me feel a glimmer of happiness to know that she is finally scared or not terrorizing people on Twitter.
Into that.
Yeah. All right. Alyssa, Sanny or petty?
Sanny. So guys, I've decided that with the vibes of the convention, I need to do something to fortify myself because like the vibes will go off a cliff at some point, right? So I don't know how it happened, but I ended up on a list that Vulture did of the 50 best Meryl Streep movies. So like Julie in Julie and Julia, who recreated all of Julia Child's recipes, I'm going to spend the next couple of months going movie by movie of top Meryl Streep movies on the Vulture Top 50 list. And they're going to take me through Election Day because how can Meryl be wrong? Like also.
Oh,
like,
smart.
Right? It's just, and I'm like, there's some of them some I had not heard of. There's some that I heard of that they thought were good. I was like, I remember seeing this in high school and don't think it was that good. But then I'm like, I was fucking 16. What the fuck? Fire it up. So the only problem is finding some of them now, but I am committed. I'm committed. That's what I'm doing.
I believe in you.
I love that.
I believe you can do it.
Thank you.
All right, Mallory, are you ready to round out Sanity Corner / I Feel Petty?
I am so ready because mine is also a Sandy Petty. And I am just reveling in the power of pettiness when you have raised $500 million. The fact that Kamala Harris accepted the nomination for president in the very same place that Donald Trump accepted it while filling up 2 arenas for a man that, as Barack Obama pointed out, is obsessed with crowd size was just absolute gold. It was a longtime Politico in Michigan who said something like, the Kamala campaign, the Harris campaigns needs to crawl into Donald Trump's head and like bite their way out, which was very graphic and has stuck with me ever since. And that's exactly what they're doing. And it's so joyful. So it is how you can leverage pettiness for some sanity to get us through this crazy election time.
Oh, that's a great note to end on.